So we are here in the matter of Beatty versus Muhlenberg, case number 17-00766DM. Ma'am, I've read your motion. What's going on?
So
Because
I
you
have
have you
not,
have you have custody of the kids, right?
no, I do not. I do not. Their father does and has since 2021 when the foster care case ended. But since that time, my time with the kids has been very inconsistent. It's went from, at first it was me getting 2 hours with them supervised by Dan and Meg, and we could go and do things. Then it
Right.
went from that to me being able to do that, have them one
Okay.
time a
How how
month.
how how long how
Then
long
to
is it?
me not seeing
How
them for 6 months, and then
well the reason that I asked the
they stopped
question
my
is
visits my last.
yeah. All right. The reason that I asked the question is because there are some conflicting orders in the file, and I didn't know which order is current. So the order granting him sole custody is current because he's been drug into court for show causes for child support as recently as March. So I'm trying to figure out why he would be drug in for child support if he has the kids. So that's why my question. I was trying to figure
Okay.
out what the actual current situation is because, like I said,
Okay.
the file's a little conflicted on what's really going on. So okay,
Right.
so the custody order that says that he has sole legal custody and your parenting time is limited because of the Child Protective Service case is what is the current order, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when was
Yeah.
the last time you saw the children?
Up April 27th,
Of what year?
2024.
Okay, so you saw them recently.
Yes.
In what capacity did you see them? Did you see them at a supervised parenting time place? Did you see them? Where did you see them?
Yeah. At
Okay,
Journeys.
at Journeys. So there is a current court
Mm.
order for Journeys.
The thing is that so I basically just agreed to what the judge had asked for to
Well,
close the file.
the judge asked for it to close the file in the neglect case so they would not terminate your parental rights. That's why this was all done.
Right. And
Otherwise, they would
so,
have terminated your parental rights and you never would have had the ability to ask for parenting time in the future.
yes. So I agree. They never put a solid like set order, and only just that it had to be supervised through a third party.
Or third
So
party, which is why I was asking the question because it does not say normally there needs to be a separate order for Journeys, but if Journeys is doing something with you, they obviously have some paperwork that's not in the court file.
oh,
Child,
okay.
Child Protective Services must have generated something in that case, not in your divorce
It
case.
was just Dan, my kid's father had called them and set that up because
Okay.
prior to that, we were at YWCA. And
Okay.
prior to that, it was just Dan and Megan, his wife, supervising them.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So, but you just saw them 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks
yeah,
ago. Now the next question would be, did they ever set up another visit at the Y? Has that stopped? What's going on with that?
Dan chose to cancel my visits at the YMCA due
Why?
to me due to me being allowed to bring my son there, my baby son, and I guess he didn't approve of that.
Okay.
Um, so he canceled it there and said it was because of my daughter's uh karate lessons, and they offered to switch it to a different day, but he said they only had Thursdays available. So then a couple months goes down the road, and then they had it set up at Journeys.
Okay.
um,
All right. See if you can continue with Journeys and make that happen. I'm going to send it to the front of the court for a full review. It doesn't mean that this is going to increase. They will look at and make sure that, say, Child Protective Services still does not have concerns. If Child Protective Services still has concerns, it may continue supervised for a while. Again, this was all done to prevent termination of your parental rights in the neglect case. So they will not let parenting time occur unless it's safe. Because if he gives you the kids any way other than supervised right now, they'll remove the kids from him.
yeah, I understand that. I was just so my brother it has an active relationship with the kids with their father. They attend small group in church regularly together, and my daughters also have a very close relationship with their uncle. And I was hoping that he could be the one that supervises visit.
You may ask for that at the front of the court, but I am not going
Okay,
to order that on a Friday morning. Not when Child
okay,
Protective Services has been involved, like I just told you. If I proceed incorrectly, I'll have the children in foster care by the weekend, because if I order him to do something that they have concerns over, they won't care that the court ordered it. They'll care that the concerns were not met. The reason they gave him custody was to protect the children and to prevent the termination of your parental rights.
right.
Now,
That
granted,
was
that was 3 years ago, which means we're at about the time that we really need to start looking at if there's an ability to give you some normalized parenting time. The court
okay.
must, if parenting time is limited, review the matter every few months to a year to see if it's appropriate to alleviate the safety measures. If it's not, the safety measures stay in place. If it is, then they will start looking at a way and method to get you normalized parenting time. But that's going
Okay,
to be a lot more in depth of a discussion than just me on 5 minutes on a Friday morning.
right.
I will note that he has been notified. He did not show, but we've continued with the hearing. The matter was set for a hearing at 8:30. It's now 9:09. And therefore I will send it to the front of the court for parenting time and child support, because that has not been reviewed either. Okay?
Can, can I
Yes,
please
ma'am.
request for the supervised visits to be at the YWCA instead of?
That I just told you to keep following through with the YWCA. Yes.
Oh, well, the
That's what was just,
journey, Dan
oh,
chose,
journeys. Oh,
yeah,
that's right. You said journeys.
yeah, Dan chose to cancel those visits. Like he stopped bringing the girls and just entirely ended those.
I'll issue an order that says visits should continue through journeys.
Do you think that I could go back to the YWCA though, is what I was asking because
I don't know, because I don't know why you weren't at the Y in the first place.
I was, but he canceled those visits too because I was able to bring my 8-month-old son with me, where he went to Journeys because I'm not allowed to bring any of their siblings with
Well,
me.
at this point in time, your time should be with the girls in this case, not the other siblings.
Okay. Well, I
All right.
still would prefer it at the YWCA, even if
At
I
this
didn't.
point, I'm keeping it the way it was. It was at Journeys.
Oh,
That's where it will stay. Okay. But
okay.
I'll issue an order that says that the Journeys visit should continue until further order.
And then, so my hope is to establish just like a step-by-step plan for restoring my
That
relationship.
that may or may not be possible.
So
Like I
how does,
said,
like, what
that's what I'm
step?
sending this to the front of the court to review.
Okay.
Because
So
they
then I,
will, the front of the court has the right, because they can hear hearsay, they can hear everything you want to say. They can even hear your request for your brother to have this, to be the supervisor for a time
okay,
period. They
okay,
can also contact CPS, find out what Child Protective Services concerns continue to be, or if
okay,
they continue to have concerns.
okay,
That's something I cannot do.
okay. I
All right.
understand.
The court receives evidence and weighs evidence. The court does not go out and get evidence. The front of the court kind of
Mhm.
has some ability to do that. Okay. That's why I'm
Okay.
sending you to them. And because of your indigent status, the fees have been waived. Okay. Good luck, ma'am.
Oh,
Take care, and we'll see
thank
if we can
you.
move this
Yep.
along. All righty. All right, next.